some of the specific strategies that you use to amplify your own executive presence and have done over the years? Because you've had quite an interesting career path as well.
Yep, I've done a lot of things by this stage of life. Well, Julie, almost on the day that you sent me the email to say, would I come and speak to you about this, I was out at my daughter's farm and I was just wandering around and the chickens were out. And I was looking at her chickens as I was thinking about this, and she's got beautiful black chickens. And I don't know, it just came to me. They were coming up to me. They were looking me straight in the eye. They were plucking. They were really plucky. They were really brave. They're coming straight up to me as if they wanted to engage with me and wanted to be there with me. And as I looked at them, they weren't just black chooks. They had beautiful red combs and their black feathers were shiny and clean and a really strong colour of green coming through. And I was thinking to myself, do you know what? That's exactly what you need to be. These are the strategies that we need to use when we walk into places where we feel a little bit daunted or, how are people going to judge us or are they going to hear us? We need to remember those chickens who just bravely strut their stuff and get out there. So I suppose when you're talking about what are the strategies I use, I'm just continuing to hone. As you know, I try and work really hard on my clothes. I work really hard on the way I speak and present. I work really hard on building my knowledge. So all of those things, but put that in a plucky chicken and you're right.
It's an interesting analogy. I remember there's a personality assessment somewhere, isn't it, where they identify as being a peacock and I forget the others now. But
yeah, probably are.
and they're ones which are quite extrovert and quite happy to go in there and make a big noise and have everyone look at them. But not everyone is like that. So what would you say to someone who perhaps was a little bit of an introvert, who has all of the credentials on paper, maybe a little unsure as to how they're presenting themselves visually as well? What would you say to someone like that?
I guess that's where the Bates Executive Presence Index comes into this story, because what Bates would say and what I've learned through that is you might feel confident or not confident. You might believe you're this or that, but it's really about how you perceived by others. And so that Bates Index helps you to see what others think of you. You might think you're the best presenter in the world, but actually do other people think that? You might think you lack confidence, but actually do other people see you as a confident person? So for us to show up as our really authentic self, the key is to be who you are. If you're a shy, quiet person, we'll use those strengths that you've got. And just also take the time to find out, how is that coming across for people? How are they seeing you? And so let your true authentic self shine through.
It's an important point, and it's one of the things I do, as you know, when I start working with a new client, is that's the basis of everything, is to really get a grip and understanding on, well, how does the world perceive you? How do I see you? Because if you don't know how other people perceive you, then how can you make improvements? How can you go through a transformation and get to the other side successfully?
I use that a lot, the work that I've done with you and that personality profile and that, what's your sort of style personality. I use that a lot when I'm preparing and getting ready for something, to just stay true to who I am. Don't go off wearing those bright, leery things that, just be what you are and make the most of it.
Yeah,